Good morning, children. Today we are going to study the poem An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. It is from your Flamingo, the second poem. What is the mean elementary school? An elementary school is a school in which children from ages 5 to 11 studies. So we say that it's a primary school. Then what is a slum? Slum, we can say that actually an overcrowded, dull, dirty area or a district. Maybe it can be nearby a city also. Generally you can find out in slum area people are actually live a very difficult life. Their houses are actually not properly made, no proper infrastructure is there. So here in this poem, what is the name of the poem? An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. So who is the poet? Poet is Stephen Spender. Stephen Spender is actually explaining or teaching us the condition of a slum school or the classroom, the type of children, the kind of children in that classroom, and he is making aware of people that through training, through providing opportunities, we can make the children who are in the slum area better citizens. Maybe by education, maybe by providing them better opportunities, we can make them better citizens of the society. Now, I am going to read the poem, then I will explain. Far, far from the gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor. The tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper-seeming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. Okay, so now I'll explain the poem. Far, far from the gusty waves. Now what is gusty waves? Gusty waves are actually, the poet is saying about the pleasant breeze which are in the, not in the slum area, in the outside world. Okay, they are actually those who are staying in the slum areas, they are far, far away from this pleasant wind. You must have observed or you must have read about and you must have seen some slum areas, the way people live, very congested, very dirty. And there is one school, the slum school, that classroom the poet is explaining. And the children's faces like rootless weeds. What is rootless weeds? What is weeds? What are weeds? Weeds are the unwanted, wild plants. When we have got our garden, we take out the unwanted plants. They are actually the weeds. Now the poet is saying that these slum school children or this classroom children are like unwanted weeds. Nobody is there caring and they are poor. Who is there to care them? They are unwanted weeds. Now, and the hair torn round their pallor, their hair is not means tidy, may not be properly maintained, may not be combed. So, and round their pallor means their face are dull. Why it is dull? Maybe because of poverty, maybe because of malnourishment, maybe because of they don't have uh, the needed things in life. Then the poet is explaining different kinds of children in that particular classroom. The tall girl with her way down head. There is one girl. She is actually the older girl in the class. She is actually very tired, way down her head. Why it is? Maybe because of poverty, or maybe she feels shame of the poverty, or maybe she is very tired because of her work at home. You know, these children have to do a lot of work at home. Maybe their parents must be going for work, who will take care of the younger ones. So maybe this girl is tired of all the work she has done, so she has weighed down her head. Then another one, there is another boy, the paper seeming boy with rat's eyes. Another boy is actually a paper seeming boy. See, the poet is explaining the boy like a paper thin. That means what? Very thin. Why is very thin? Because lack of food and lack of nourishment. He is malnourished. So the poet is saying that he is paper thin, very thin. And with rat's eyes. Why rat's eyes? You know, rats has got an eyes. They always looking out for food and shelter. So this child may not have eaten for so many days. So what he wants? He wants food. So maybe always he is looking for food. So see the way the poet is explaining this boy. Now, then another boy, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. There is another boy who is stunted. That means stunted growth means he doesn't have a proper growth. So he must have he is a successor of his father. That means he has inherited from a disease from his father. He has got a twisted body. Maybe the bones are not proper. So actually he is supposed to inherit a good education, good clothes. But what he has inherited? He has inherited his twisted body. And he is reciting. What he is reciting means actually here is actually he is expressing what he has inherited. What he has inherited. And then again he is actually this poor boy is actually reading his lesson from his desk. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, and his eyes live in dream. Oh, see, this classroom is very dim, not properly ventilated, not proper light, or may not be having fans and convenience and like our classrooms. See how lucky we people are. We have got good classrooms and properly ventilated, properly lighted. And these children, so they are it's a very dim class. Means one the sweet child is there. What is he? His eyes live in dream. And he is not much worried and bothered about his poverty and all. So in his eyes we can see some hopes, some dreams. And the poet says, of course in his eyes he is not bothered about poverty, or may not be. His eyes shows hope. And of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. And he is more interested in and he is dreaming of the squirrel's dream in the tree house. Maybe the whole of the tree. You cannot see you must have seen squirrels playing. So he is dreaming of that. He is not much interested in this classroom which is very gloomy. What is the now they don't have much convenience and all, and he is a very young sweet child. His interest is actually in the squirrel's game. These are the poetic devices given in the first stanza. Yes, children, we'll continue with the poem. Now we'll do the second stanza. First I will read the second stanza, then I will explain. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, crowdless at dawn, civilized dome riding all cities, well flowery tireless valley, open-handed map, awarding the world its world. And yet, for these children, these windows, not these maps, their world, were all their futures painted with a fog. A narrow street sealed in with lead sky, far from rivers, capes, and stars of words. Now here the poet is describing the condition of the classroom. Now see, he is saying, on sore dream walls. Now the walls are sore dream. That means it is a off-white color, not maintained properly, not painted for so many years. So cream colored. So in other words, actually it's a very unpleasant look it is giving. What is sour? Sour is a taste. Sour is actually, lemon has got sour taste. But the poet is actually here is telling us actually, so sour cream walls. So very unpleasant, not painted or whitewashed for years. And donations are here, you can find out some donations there. You know, in some schools or buildings, we can find out the names of people who are donated. And here also there are some donations by whom, that is also written. So what all things are donated? One is actually Shakespeare's head. It's a picture of a portrait of a Shakespeare. And you know who is Shakespeare? Who is Shakespeare? Shakespeare is one of the famous dramatist, poet in English literature. And these children may not be knowing who is Shakespeare, and it is none of their concern because they are actually deprived of many basic things. But on the wall of the school or the classroom, Shakespeare's portrait is there. And again, cloudless atmosphere, and also a picture of a morning scene, and it shows actually also domes of cities. You know, domes is a round structure, and flowery Tyrolese valley. Now there is one valley it is an Austrian Alpine province, that is a flowery Tyrolese valley. It is very beautiful, flowery and all. And there is also a picture of that. All these are donated by rich people. And again one world map is there. And world map also, see how who makes the world map. World map, actually in the map, whatever is needed included, that will be included. But in the map, their slum, they cannot see. It is not shown. So whosoever making a map, they will be including whatever they want. So many things are ignored also. So that's why it is explained. Awarding the world its world. So whosoever is making, their world it is shown. But they are not even the world map, their slums are not shown. So and yet, these children, these windows, not this map there. For them actually, these windows are better for them to see what is their world. And what is the use of for them this world map. And they are actually lacking many basic needs, where all their future painted with fog. Now listen, they will look out the window, they will see the slum, and in their that in through that window only they can see their painted their futures painted with fog. Why it is fog? The poet says that their future it is not very lively and not clear. What is fog? Fog is actually a cloud formation in the winter season. You can find fog is there. Trains cannot move. It's very difficult to travel. So here also the poet says that these children's futures are actually painted in fog, not clear, no hope, no aspirations, and they lack the basic things. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Now listen, slum is actually in such an area that it looks like a narrow street sealed in with a dark lead sky. Why it is a lead sky? Now houses are congested, and no proper light, so it looks like dark and dull. The poet says it's like a lead sky cannot be lead, and that color is giving actually because no proper light. And far from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Actually their street is in such a condition, very far away from rivers, caves, and stars of words. Here stars of words means education, and rivers and the caves, that it actually shows no adventures, no chance of improvement. They are living in a very dull situation. Their future is in a painted like fog. And if anybody can provide them education, if anybody can provide them better amenities, if anybody can provide them better opportunities, then they can be made to good citizens of the society.